Okay, Pat, as we always do, you want to kick us off with what's happening at the varsity campus?
Yeah, so I know I invited the AMR and JLL reps to the meeting, and they basically said, no, thank you. It's not in their schedule to do that. And so, the questions I had for them, I think will just be answered because, well, I sat down with our new OM, that's Andres Tomato, and quite frankly, he has been extremely communicative. He's worked with me on a lot of issues. Since last Tuesday, we have our 7 regular custodians for the first time since May. The building is getting better. He's acknowledged the GOAT section that I've been pointing out for off and on for the last 5 years. We sat down and we went over the schedules, which I'm going to show you the hard copies of it. And you kind of look at.
Are those the floor plans that you're showing?
Yes.
Okay.
And I can actually, I scan these, I'll send them to you. But basically, if you look closely at the ghost section, it's the last one. And this is the section that they keep taking away from us, giving us back, taking away, giving us back, taking away. But the good news is he's got it on here, and it really identifies the situation. I met with the facilities team today, the CPS facilities team today again. And I know that Clarence Carson has been removed as the chief of facilities.
Yeah.
And, I don't know. I don't know who'd want that job, overseeing the entire system of decrepit buildings, but they removed him, and, they still met me in the office hours, which is great. Actually praised Mr. Acevedo and Mr. Franco, the JLL rep, again, for being involved, communicative. I honestly have not felt any relief on the custodial side for a long time, and it's been very stressful on me. And now I can actually trust Mr. Acevedo because, again, he's texting me, he's letting me know. And the ghost section, they continue to provide 4 custodians with 2 hours, which actually equals a shift to complete the ghost section. And he's confirmed to me that they'll continue to do so until a situation is developed. The other good news is when I did talk to the facilities team, the CPS facilities team, I explained to them the issue again. And this time they understood a little better, and they're receptive to trying to, down the road, figure out why this keeps happening. So I got some acknowledgement on that side. We've, like I said, we've come a long way on the custodial side. I don't know if other schools have 7 regular people, but we're very fortunate. And no, not all of them are like the greatest workers in a row, that we've had, but they're much, much better than the substitutes we were getting prior to last Tuesday.
All right, Pat, so remind me, so we should have 8 full-time, correct?
Correct.
So we're down 1 now.
Yep, but as I said, he's actually acknowledged the ghost section, and they're giving 2 hours to 4 people every night to complete that section until we can fill it.
Yeah,
he's put in a temporary ticket to fill the position.
Okay.
And once we get that going, I'll continue to push on CPS facilities department about making that a permanent part of our staff, because it really needs to be. And the evidence is right here.
Yeah.
It's right. But Mr. Acevedo agrees, he acknowledges it, and he also will be working to that end. So it's great news. It's the first time I've talked positively about the custodial side of this operation in a long, long time.
All right, I'm going to stop you, Pat. Kat, are you okay hearing? You typed someone needs to.
There was reverb, but someone must have muted because it's much better now.
Okay, good. Thank you for letting. Thank you. Yeah.
Sure.
Okay, Pat. So this Acevedo guy. Last time you said you weren't clear what JLL's role is. Can you define what JLL's role is now, so you know?
Yeah, I can.
What is it?
JLL is primarily responsible for the engineer side, but also coordinates with the Aramark side. It's very identical to the previous situation with Aramark that we've had, where Aramark was the role of JLL, and they now are just working for JLL. It's pretty bizarre, and I think that's part of the reason why Mr. Carson was removed, because he doled out a lot of a 3-year contract to Aramark after saying he was going to get rid of them. And I'm not making a judgment. I don't know what that guy had to go through, because I'm sure it wasn't good.
Yeah. And that's great, but we care about Taft.
I feel the same way.
So, okay, so you're seeing an improvement in the cleanliness of the facility?
Yes.
Okay, also, did you ask, was one of the questions, and did you find the questions from the last meeting?
I'll be honest with you, I did not. I did not.
All right, so I still take serious issue with the fact that they're saying they don't have time to come speak with us.
They don't want to do that.
That's baloney. We're paying them to speak with us. So if I had the energy and the will, I would pursue this further. But if you're getting results that you feel you're happy with, I'll leave it alone. But I think we've got them on the ropes right now. Like, now is our time to strike and get them to move. I do want to know, a question I do want to know, Pat, if you can send it to them, is I want to know what their cleaning schedule is. I want to know what their COVID-19 procedures are. What's the infection prevention cleaning methodology that they use?
I can get you that stuff.
And if they give you issues on that, then we can reconsider how we're going to deal with these people.
Yeah, no, actually, I can get that stuff for you.
Yeah.
That's not going to be hard to get. I can forward it to you.
And let them know how very terribly disappointed we were that their position is that they don't think they need to come talk with us about the job we're paying them to do.
I already said that to them, and I did say it's a public forum.
Yeah, if you want to have me on the call the next time you speak with them, happy to be on the call with you.
Yeah, if I tell you what, Chris, if I hadn't seen such a huge improvement.
That's what I said. I'm deferring to you.
I feel if I don't see like the continued progress, but they've giving us everything that I've been pushing for, except for filling the ghost position permanently, which I think will happen down the road as I continue to communicate with the facilities team.
Yeah, keep pushing that with Acevedo. You've got great progress, it sounds like. Okay.
Yeah, it's honestly, I haven't felt this good about it in a long, long time.
Okay, let's talk about the visit from the capital planning team. Have they responded to you at all with any of the issues that we identified in that meeting?
No.
Principal G, how do you want to move forward with that?
I'm sorry, I was looking at my emails. What?
So we had the capital planning team come out, Ivan Hansen and his team, very participatory, very engaged. Pat sent a very concise email of all the items and deliverables that we had talked about, and we haven't heard from them. And it's been probably a month.
Right. I would wait another month. I reached out to Alderman Spazzato.
Yes.
And he said he's going to do all the legwork to get that thing going over here.
Okay, so that's music to Bridget's ears.
Yeah.
We'll talk about that at the First Academy.
Yeah. But, so because I saw people over there with bulldozers moving dirt. And I called him up right away. I said, Alderman, did you get this thing going right away? He said, nope, I didn't even start it, but I will this week. He's going to see how much it costs, how we get it done so we can park over here. Because that's the long-term solution.
I mean, with all due respect, the teachers can park there right now.
Teachers can park wherever they want to park.
They can park.
I can only make the suggestion they park over there, you know? The teacher says, I want to park on Normandy. I'll say, you know what, that's legal to do.
No, on that side lot, that city-owned lot that we're talking about.
I don't know if you can park there.
There was a truck that was parked there for 2 days.
Yeah.
And the city did
there's no parking there.
Okay, so that's Spazzato. We'll get that to. Okay, at the varsity campus, what caught their eye was the paint. Was the boys' locker room, Pat.
Oh, you know what? Hey, here I was complimenting Mr. Franco, the JLL rep,
Yeah,
he was here in a meeting. I walked him down there.
yeah.
And I've done this with a number of people, including the facilities, the planning side. Mr. Franco took pictures. He promised me something would get done. I said, well, it would be great if it happens because you'd be the first one to actually take the next step. And there was a PO issued to have it tested.
Wow.
The substance tested. So I'm going to give that all to Mr. Franco.
Okay.
And so he did send me a PO, and he also sent me a PO dealing with the VC boilers and repairing some of the what was it like? So again, those Mr. Acevedo and Mr. Franco have started off really well. Well, let me hold on a second. Let me get this PO and I've got so much stuff. The burner. So he sent me a PO, which I didn't even know was part of the issue. Basically Taft burner parts. So upgrading our boiler. So he's already issued that PO too. And this is what I'm talking about. Typically none of this stuff gets done unless I'm pushing it. And all of a sudden he sends me an email. This was yesterday. Yeah, and saying, hey, we got this PO going. So it's I'm so optimistic right now. I seriously, I'm not waking up in the middle of the night going, how are we gonna get this place clean and blah blah blah. It and the mold and I can't call it mold. The substance PO is
The questionable material.
Yeah, it's in the system, but that's Mr. Franco. It's awesome.
And the other thing too that was an issue for you was the system of capturing when you would input an item into the system, you didn't know how to track it. And that was something we discussed with the capital planning people. And they were going to hook you up with getting you. So are you not entering anymore, or is it just this Franco guy that's entering?
No, it's still not us. It's Franco. But at least if I get the PO, I know it's moved forward, which I never got before. That's my point.
Franco, for of all the current Taft POs.
Right. So they did not, the facility side, the planning side, they have not addressed any of the issues on the list. But Mr. Franco has moved forward on those two issues and the one I wasn't even aware of, and this one. And that's the way it's supposed to be. They're supposed to be addressing these issues and reporting to me. I shouldn't be badgering them for getting results. So that's why I'm saying I'm very optimistic.
Right, but I'm just saying, can you ask Mr. Franco to provide a list of outstanding POs in the system for Taft?
Sure.
So we know what at least is in the system?
Yeah,
if
that's
you don't
a good idea.
That?
I will ask about that. Outstanding POs.
I'm curious to know what's in the system so far.
Well, I think the facilities team answered that question, and that's why I was befuddled. Because,
okay, clear. That who we met with was not the facilities team.
Well, the planning side of facilities.
Right. It's two separate. They're two separate departments. It was very clear.
Yeah. You're right. It's I meant planning. You're right. But I will ask him if he can provide. But I think the answer is there's not going to be.
I just want to see what's in the system right now.
Yeah, I'll do that. That's a good one too. That's a great idea.
And it's accountability, Pat. Like
totally.
They got to know that you're on them. This isn't a walk in the park for them. They have to earn their keep here, and there's a lot to earn. And it sounds like a lot of good things are happening, but I want the capital planning people to respond to our email. You gave them all of our drawings for the temperature system in the gym.
Yep.
All they had to do was look at it and say, yeah, this is fine, and put a price tag to it, which I think your stuff had a price tag to it on it anyway.
It did, yes.
And then the condenser units on the roof. They were gonna strategize and put a plan together for us so Principal G could in his brain figure out, capital expenditure wise, what can we do to start phasing out and replacing these units?
Yeah, you know what, Chris, what I'll do is I'll put on my calendar, because I do know, and you and I have gone back and forth on this quite a bit, that nothing is fast on this side, but maybe I'll do a follow-up email to them and just say, hey, just reaching out, want to know what the progress is. And I'll send it to the entire group so that way everybody's on the thread.
And I don't know, I did read the article about the facilities guy at CPS they fired, but
Yeah.
you know who the guy who's handling it in the interim is?
They did give me a name of a person.
It's Ivan, the guy we met with who heads capital planning.
That's what it is?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
So my point is, we've got momentum, we've got their ear, things are happening, strike while the iron's hot so we can get what we can while we can.
Okay. You know what? I'll send a follow-up email.
Yeah, I don't think it will hurt, especially since he's overseeing facilities and he heard our tale of woes and without being in an agreement with us, was in agreement with us.
Yeah, I'll do it. Send a follow-up email. I'll put it on my calendar right now.
Okay, what else in varsity do we need to know about? Any security issues from the cameras are all good?
Well, I mean, honestly, and I say this all the time, I'm making some progress about upgrading, well, not even upgrading, installing security cameras on the turf field. And Kat and I have a list of what security or what cameras we need, what areas we need to identify. It's just really a matter of, budgeting, getting the drawings done. So I've been working which really, I got to put this on my calendar too. What's his name? Camera. Security cameras. Oh, Kat, you can help me with this. This is this guy. What's his name? I can't remember.
Kat's looking for the name of the guy that you guys have to talk about the security cameras.
Yeah, it's Henry Gonzalez. I've been working with him. He's already kind of been out here a few times.
Okay. All right. So that's in the hopper.
Long-term planning stages.
Okay, Pat, your favorite subject. What's the bathroom situation? Everything's open?
Everything is open. We close it when there's graffiti and we clean it and then we reopen it. Today is the first, we've had still some graffiti issues, but the custodial team gets it removed and so it's locked. They get it removed. We get it going. We do have a bathroom closed down but I don't think this was from vandalism. The men's cafeteria bathroom, I think, is just having plumbing issues.
Okay.
So they're working on that. Today I did have a little bit of vandalism in the boys' washroom at 245. They pulled off the sink faucet push thing and it was running. So the engineers got it turned off. I don't know when it'll be repaired. We can keep that washroom open because there's still one sink that's usable. But it's been just mostly graffiti at this point and not too much damage.
Okay, so you would say that since we brought this to light, it's sort of starting to slowly be under control.
I would agree. I would agree that those issues are.
And is any of the graffiti markings gang graffiti?
No. You know what? I've got a folder of all, when the security team takes pictures, they send it to me. I've not seen any gang graffiti that I'm aware of.
Because Taft still gets the lingering people who say, so the fact that we can say there's no markings, that's important.
A lot of penises.
Well, I was gonna say it's penises.
Hey. It is. I can show you some pictures.
Oh, I know what it looks like. Thank you. No, that's fine.
Hey, I got the toughest gang in the school. They're called teachers. Okay.
Good.
Yeah.
Like that guy. Okay. And then lastly, how is the locker rollout going, Pat?
Oh, we've made really good progress. As I've said all along, it is it's going to be a process, but we have distributed.
How many?
500. No, hold on. $10 mark. we have distributed, let's see, quick math, 11s, 27, 627. Almost 300. Almost 300. So
And we started on Monday, right? Yeah.
just to recap,
Yeah.
originally only about 589 people agreed to the $10 lock charge. That number is now 695.
Okay.
So we're not quite halfway there, but
Okay.
we are making progress. And anybody who reaches out to me, I respond to them and say, thank you for your patience. We're almost ready. The first floor is almost completely done. The third floor, you know, the locker team is going to come in and work on it on Thursday, which is great. So,
And how are you distributing it? Are you distributing it by grade or by alphabet?
no, this honestly, we're doing it. It was, you know, after a lot of planning and brainstorming and figuring out how we can get this done, we are preparing the lockers in advance. So we're putting Taft locks on them based on your first period. This is why the first floor is done. Based on your first period class, that's where you get your assignment. So what we do is we pull up the first period class, which we, thanks to Tommy, who is a genius.
Tommy!
He's the man. He basically has their first period class. We correlate it with the students.
So smart.
And we send them an email saying, this is your locker number. This is your combination. You've accepted a $10 fee. Go open your locker.
Terrific.
Yeah, you know what? Honestly, I think moving forward, like into the following years, this will be the way we always do.
Love it. Now, theoretically and geographically, this should help with the flow because then they're getting to their locker and they're right by their first class. Yeah, sort of. That's
the plan.
okay. So time will tell. Like certainly second half of the school year will be, and of course with the winter, you know, everybody's got to schlep their stuff around. It takes a little bit longer, but if it disperses people across the school instead of having them congregate all in one spot. Okay, this is an interesting case study. Very
honestly, I'm pretty happy with the way it's going. I've been in the hallways quite a bit.
Yeah.
And I've really only had to remind one student so far. You know, so in the email we send them, basically it says these are your expectations. And if you're in your locker after the second bell rings, there's consequences. And if I warn you,
smart, guys.
Honestly, it's pretty cool. And I'm moving forward. I think totally solved the locker problem issue in terms of distributing them.
And not only distribution, Pat, but making sure that they get to their first period on time.
Yeah.
And dispersing the kids throughout the hallways.
Yeah. Many students are upset with, oh, I need my locker here. We're like, nope.
Friends are here.
Yeah.
Nope.
The answer is absolutely not.
Love it.
Yeah.
Okay, this is great. So
Pat, you're a mean AP.
we'll blame you.
Yeah.
Although
Someone's got to be the dirty guy, right?
Let me tell you, my daughter, I asked her, I'm like, hey, Gwen, did you ever get a locker? She goes, oh my God, I have the best locker. It's right by my class.
Yeah, I made sure it was a double locker and it has mink inside. Okay, everything's fine.
So you have one student out of the 300 who like you.
All right, good. Because Chris is going to go home and tell her I got her locker for her. So that's mine, Pat.
All right. I'm good with that.
I know you.
It's working for one student at least.
No, I think it's working. I think the people that don't want their locker by their first period are the ones that want to have it down by the gym so they can
congregate. No, they're so smart. And you know what else is great in planning for next year?
Yeah.
You know, when we're able to get the kids in the building before school starts, we can get Tommy can work his magic again. Yes, I love it.
But I'm going to push back on that because I don't want the kids to have lockers like that first month.
Yeah. Either way, when we're ready to distribute them, we will have the system in place.
Yeah. But we can argue about that.
No, I'm not going to argue.
Because I want them just to go to class because they got
look.
everything in their backpacks, and then we'll give them to them. But it'll be quicker next year than waiting until November.
Got it. Okay, that's great.
We'll go like October 1st.
But the methodology will still be the same.
Yes.
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 no, Alex is right, because
Yeah.
that first month you're in flux and
Yeah.
kids are coming
And
and
the kids are
going.
in their classrooms after 1 minute after the bell rings. And
Okay.
it works out
We
so
will be much more prepared and
Yeah.
have a system in place.
with
Ah.
IDs too. IDs, we're gonna do the same thing for next year.
Yep.
Have them on the first week of school next year.
Terrific.
May not be their most current picture, but then you didn't take a picture.
Well,
Correct.
the kids will actually be in the school
Yeah.
before school
Yeah,
starts
that's
next
true.
year.
Mhm.
So,
The only thing that's gonna, with the IDs, which I think reprinting program changes, because we really have done such a great job on the programming side that we probably don't need to do that as much. But I think on the side of getting IDs out the first week is more important than having to reprint any program changes.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's really one of the hiccups. This year, the major hiccup was having no pictures on file or having pictures from 6th grade, 7th grade. That was really
well, hello,
the issue.
we just didn't have, you'll be able to do that this year.
Correct. So that we'll have a better grasp of too.
Okay.
I think
And
that's
for the record, if I am not one of those 695 kids who came to you and said, I wanna have a locker, when we put in the request, if I'm like all of a sudden saying, oh, you know what, I'm gonna have a big winter coat, I'm schlepping around my trumpet, I have nowhere to put my trumpet,
Yeah, no problem.
come and get a lock, I can come
Yeah.
and for a
You'll
locker.
fill out the form, you'll agree to the charge, and you'll be on the list.
Yeah.
I'm not going to promote that until I have all 695 lockers out.
Yeah.
Once I have all 695 lockers out,
Yeah.
I can revisit
That's awesome,
reposting in the bulletin and saying who else would like the locker.
terrific, okay,
I'm surprised that so many people didn't want to pay the $10.
that's okay,
Yeah, it is okay.
it's okay.
We don't want kids schlepping. We definitely
No
don't want.
schlepping,
Yeah.
especially, I do feel bad for the band kids who have their instruments, they gotta schlep around all day.
Yeah,
Right.
I think anybody who's reached out to me with those kind of circumstances, I'll say 90% of them we've addressed right away.
Love it.
Now, some people didn't like the answer, and some things were said that weren't accurate, but I feel like we've addressed it 90%, if not more.
All right, anything else at the varsity campus?
Not that I'm aware of.
Principal G?
Are we gonna talk about the sophomore campus in Addison Park or no? Not this time? No.
I'm
Just thought I'd wake everybody up right now.
no, I'm awake. That just like stopped my heart.
Oh, I know.
Well, we
Yeah.
need the space.
Yeah.
Don't be funny.
No sophomore campus.
Senior parent, go for it, guys.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I know.
So, okay.
I know. I want 4
Uh,
campuses. So I know
Okay,
right about that.
no, you're done talking
I
now.
know.
Okay, thank you.
I'm sorry.
So freshman academy, I have to tell you, Pat, I walked the golden path. It actually leads somewhere now. It's beautiful. I mean, it's a beautiful path, and guess what? They did it in a month and a half.
It's lit up. It's nice.
Well, actually, the half that when you cross the fence into the field, the lights weren't on, so I hope that's not an issue, but, now, the one thing we need to pursue, and so Principal G started talking about that, and I want to visit this, because Bridget and I were talking about this earlier, is the lot that the capital planning people actually threw our way, Pat, and said, and Principal G said he reached out to Alderman Spazzato to start that ball rolling to see if we can get that turned into a parking lot.
Yeah.
That's something I want done before I leave. Because then that's more parking for the teachers.
I would love to see that.
Okay, so we're gonna keep the pressuring, Principal G, to see where his conversations are with Alderman Spazzato.
Same area we addressed last time with the egress,
Yeah,
yep.
and also visitors and parents. and
Fantastic.
everything, yeah.
This is for your packet. Do you have a packet yet?
No, I don't. I'm sorry.
Extra for me.
Okay, Pat, what else here? What
Did you
else
add
at the
this on?
freshman academy?
So I know there was, did you get a chance? I'm just curious. Did you go up and check the cracks on the 3rd floor?
No, but I'm going to after, you know me so well.
No, please do. I'll be honest with you. I've been so consumed here that I have not nearly spent enough time over there, which I have to. This month, I'm really going to try to get over there a little bit more.
Here, I'll go look.
I know our goal was, even as an administrative team, was to make sure, that we go over there a little more often.
Yeah.
We have our general assignments, but
Pat, that's what the teachers are for, and they've done a yeoman's job of letting us know. I mean, this is a brand-new facility, and if there's anything that arises, we're still in sort of that new window that if something happens, they need to come in and fix it stat.
Oh, I
So,
agree.
And
And so,
here
right, we do have the form,
care of everything.
right, we do have the form, which obviously we use quite a bit. And I do communicate with Ryan, obviously.
Yeah,
So we are
good.
monitoring the facility's issues over there. And even when one of our top custodians she's on a leave or she's injured, and we're managing not like the sub that they've gotten for us. Well, again, I'll give the shout out to Mr. Acevedo. Has been good. Like there hasn't been a massive drop. So I'm looking right now at the form,
Yeah.
the responses, and they have dropped tremendously.
Well, I'm going straight to my, my source, Ms. Trebbing, how,
I'm going by the data here.
I'm going by my lady in red.
It looks like stairwell C1 was having some gum issues, but like I said, prior to the weeks before, it was a lot of stuff being reported. So this really is good. Not perfect, but good.
Okay. Now, Pat, so we are one custodian down at the varsity campus. What's our tally here?
We're still at
How many should we have?
5.5, 4.5, 2 during the day and 3.5 at night. So that's 5.5. 5.5 is where we're at.
And so we're stacked full. We don't need anybody.
Correct. We're good.
Nice.
Yeah. And since I'm not getting I'm not getting the complaints, I can, that's a good thing, meaning the people are doing their job. Now, I do know that we do have some deep cleaning issues
Okay.
that Mr. Acevedo has been addressing. So
Bridget is nodding, so that's.
yes, so he's addressing those, and so as far as my data shows and the reports,
I like these pins.
we're looking good right now.
It's
Okay.
at the place on
Again, we've got some more work to do, but we've made massive progress.
Yeah.
old
Well, we got to be relentless. The
You
second
do?
the second
And
they're gonna, and it sounds like the team is fine. You've got a good team, so we'll, again, strike while the iron's hot here.
thank God.
Okay. Anything else at the freshman academy, Pat?
I do not have anything on the list.
Okay. Principal G, anything at the freshman academy?
No.
And members of the committee, anything? You're so far this month pretty good, except for some of the deep cleaning issues. Madam Chair, you weren't here, but we had a very deep conversation about the lockers. I'll recap them again.
Cool.
It's good. It's all good. Along with the bathroom situation. Mr. Co-Chair, any facilities issues?
Nothing that Pat and I talked briefly about what my concerns are outside of what we were talking about with that. I think, Pat, we're gonna start talking about that next month.
Yep.
Yeah.
We have our task force. Yep.
I'm assuming that's for the field?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. We've got a long list of things to get figured out, and I like to say we have a year, but it goes fast. So I've scheduled meetings with Matt throughout the year, our task force, and we're going to start doing that in December. And we've got a lot of things to iron out. But I think at the end of the day, and Mike and I are on the same page here. We are going to have systems in place that are going to make our events flow much better.
Terrific.
Hey, Pat, and if it makes you feel, just to kind of give you some positive feedback, I have been working with numerous different classes of alumni, and the class of 72, 73 was at the last football game, and they were just enamored with the field, the facilities, so much so that we actually have a dinner next week because they are going to start participating in putting together contributions to Taft.
Oh, that's fantastic. That's great news.
Yeah, I just can't keep up. I mean, there's a group of like 62 people right now that are just gung ho about what's going on. So all good.
Hey, on that same note, I talked to Matt today about tickets for Saturday's game. So whatever you need, just reach out to him and we'll get you those tickets. You know what? He and I were talking. We don't have school Thursday. We don't have school Friday. We're allotted like 300 tickets. We're not even going to charge. So if you have a group that wants to go to Lane Tech,
Yep.
watch the game on Saturday, just let us know how many tickets you want.
I will do. Will do. Because
Thank you.
I don't know what happened, but even Glenn got a word, and now a good problem they have is now we have competing alumni classes going against each other.
Even better.
Good.
So problem being the facilitator of funding from all the alumni. So good stuff happening here.
Good, good. I think our task force is going to see a lot of good things. I really do.
Great.
All right, Mr. Levins, anything else in regards to facilities before we close?
I don't think so.
I do want Kat's on. I think Kat's the only person on. Kat, is there any facilities, questions, or matters you wanted to interject or add to?
No, ma'am.
Okay, awesome. Thank you. All right, well then, at 5:12, I am adjourning the Facilities Committee meeting.
Outstanding. Thank you.
Kat, okay, Tommy, you can stop.
Does anybody want to?